Welcome back to Bike Beat, where torque meets truth and every ride tells a story. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a machine that's been a symbol of rebellion, style, and simplicity for over a decade. That's right, it's the 2025 Harley-Davidson Iron 883. It's lean, loud, and proudly old school. But is it still relevant in today's rapidly changing moto scene? Let's find out. First off, if you're familiar with the Iron 883, you'll notice that Harley hasn't drastically overhauled it, and that's intentional. This bike isn't here to compete with futuristic roadsters or high-tech dashboards. It's here to deliver one thing: raw, stripped-back cruising with unmistakable Harley attitude. At the core of the Iron 883 is the same legendary 883 cubic centimeters Evolution V-twin engine. Air-cooled, mechanically simple, and unmistakably Harley in both sound and feel. It delivers around 51 horsepower and 54 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers might not wow on paper, but in the real world, that torque comes in low and pulls you forward with that gritty, satisfying thump. The 5-speed gearbox feels mechanical and deliberate. Shifting into first comes with that solid Harley clunk, a sound that reminds you this machine was built to be ridden, not babied. Roll on the throttle and you get instant delivery, especially through the mid-range. It's not blisteringly fast, but it doesn't need to be. It's quick enough to get ahead of traffic, carve through side streets, and drop into highway lanes without a second thought. Where this bike really finds its soul is on the street. With a low seat height of just 25.7 inches and a narrow frame, the Iron 883 gives you that slammed, lowrider feeling that so many riders love. It's manageable for beginners but still has enough street presence for seasoned cruisers. At 564 pounds wet, it's not exactly light, but the low center of gravity helps it feel more stable than heavy. Suspension is pretty basic. Up front, you've got 39mm forks with 4.6 inches of travel. Out back, there are dual shocks with preload adjustability and just 1.6 inches of travel. It's stiff. You'll feel potholes and rough roads more than you might on something like a Softail or a Rebel 1100. But again, this bike isn't pretending to be a luxury tourer. It's a city bruiser, and it wears that title proudly. Braking is handled by single-disc brakes front and rear. They're decent, but don't expect superbike levels of bite or finesse. ABS is not standard, which might come as a surprise in 2025, but it's available as a $795 option. Still, that might be a worthwhile upgrade if you're riding in unpredictable urban conditions. Now let's talk about design, because if we're honest, a big part of the Iron 883's appeal is how it looks. The 2025 model carries over that classic, blacked-out look with a few modern touches. The tank keeps its peanut shape with that timeless curve, the fenders are chopped down just enough, and the solo seat gives it that stripped-back vibe. For this year, Harley introduced a couple of new color options, gunship gray and copper nightshade, both of which look incredible under natural light. The badging has been slightly tweaked too, giving it a more modern edge without losing the vintage character. The LED headlight is now standard, finally bringing some light technology to the front end without clashing with the bike's old-school charm. The analog speedometer also got a mild update. It now includes a digital gear indicator and fuel bar. It's a small touch, but for riders who like knowing exactly where they are in the gearbox, it's a welcome addition. Aside from that, don't expect much in the way of modern tech. There's no Bluetooth, no touchscreen, no traction control, and no riding modes. The Iron 883 is proudly analog, and for many riders, that's a huge part of the appeal. It's a machine that connects you directly to the ride, without layers of digital filters in between. Customization is another area where the Iron 883 continues to dominate. Harley knows this bike is a platform, a starting point for thousands of custom visions. And it supports that with a deep catalog of accessories. Want to add mini apes? Go for it. Thinking about a high-flow air cleaner and a shorty exhaust? You're not alone. From tank lifts to new seats, LED turn signals, chopped fenders, bar-end mirrors, this bike can go from factory fresh to full-blown bobber or cafe-inspired in a single weekend if you've got the vision. Riders across the board, from first-timers to veterans, have embraced the Iron 883 as a kind of moto canvas. And the 2025 version keeps that spirit alive. Nothing's overdone. Nothing's too modern. It's just the right balance of form and function, style and substance. Now let's talk price. The 2025 Iron 883 starts at $11,999 US dollars. Add ABS, destination, and dealer fees, and you're probably out the door somewhere between $13,500 and $14,200, depending on where you live. That's not cheap, especially when you stack it up against performance-heavy competitors like the Honda Rebel 1100 or the Triumph Speed Twin 900. But then again, the Iron 883 isn't trying to be a spec sheet champion. It's selling you a feeling, a brand, a riding culture that's been around for over a century. When you compare the Iron 883 to its rivals, it's clear where it stands. The Rebel 1100 delivers more power and tech for less money. The Triumph Speed Twin 900 is smoother and more refined. Even the Indian Scout 60 beats it in performance metrics. But none of them feel quite like this. None of them offer that same raw, visceral, low-end grunt combined with such a stripped-down aesthetic. The truth is, if you're shopping purely on performance per dollar, you might skip the Iron 883. But if you want a bike with personality, with soul, with attitude you can feel from the second you thumb the starter, this is your machine. The Iron 883 is for the rider who wants to feel every vibration in the bars, every mechanical shift through the gears, and every bump in the road. It's for the person who doesn't mind a little extra wrenching, who values authenticity over algorithms, and who sees their bike as an extension of their personality, not just a mode of transport. So, is the 2025 Iron 883 worth it? That depends entirely on what you want from a bike. If you're looking for a comfortable tourer, this isn't it. If you want cutting-edge features, you'll be disappointed. But if you're chasing that pure, old-school riding experience, the kind that grabs you by the jacket and pulls you into the road, then yes, the Iron 883 still has it. It's not perfect. But it's not trying to be. Thanks for watching. If you found this review helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Bike Beat for more honest reviews, ride footage, and motorcycle culture from the street up. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you pick the Iron 883 in 2025, or is it time Harley moved on? We'll see you on the next ride.